Good morning, everyone. How you guys doing? Welcome to Planta Garden TV. What's up? We just still have. Give me 1 second, guys. I still have. I think I still have Lapsos Live running. Okay. All right. Happy gardening to everyone. Happy New Year to everyone. What you guys doing? How you guys doing today? What's going on? All right, guys. This is garden season, man. So we're gonna be doing a lot of live with gardening because we're trying to get more people into growing their own food, more people into learning to growing their own food, more people into getting more healthy, and have conversation that we can help each other. Because I don't know, but for what I'm seeing, man, I'm seeing that things is getting real tight. When I say tight, I mean tight. When I say tight, I mean tough, harder. Thing is getting real harder. So we just trying for encourage people that you can make things a little easier for yourself if you able to do these things like growing your own food, growing some herbs, even though you try to even though you try to at least learn the skills of being self-sufficient. Hey Fifi, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, if you're trying to be self-sufficient is important. And gardening in the winter, man, God, is really tough. It's really tough when you're talking about gardening in the winter. It's a real tough time, especially when you're dealing with plants that cannot handle the colder weather. There's plants that the cold really does nothing to them. All right, all right. They mightn't do much to the plant, but there's certain plant from the time the cold breeze hit them, that's basically it. It's like no turning back when the frost hit them. But at the same time, you see, can't wait to be back out in the garden. Oh, I know, trust me, I know. I know. I didn't finish the video, but I was watching a video with the snow that you guys have. My goodness. I mean, when you look at these things, man, I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy to gardening when you're dealing with cold weather, when you're dealing with the winter, when you're dealing with the coldness, when you're dealing with the ice. Is not easy because you see the difference is with zone, let me say like zone 6 and maybe zone 7. The difference is to zone 8, 9, 10, 11. The difference is you don't get freezing soil. That's the difference. The difference between these zones, you don't get freezing soil. And that's the big difference. Yes, always have to make adjustment with the type of weather. Yes, yes. It's a big difference growing in zone 6 and maybe 7 and under. But when you're talking about 8, 9, 10, it's a complete different ball game. Because now, when you're growing in, say, 8, 9, 10, You could actually sow seeds outdoors in the winter, like brassica. You could actually sow them outdoors in the winter. Why you could do that? Because the ground is not freezing. There's many different type of plants you could plant. You could plant potato in the winter, in the heart of the winter. You could plant edo. You could plant many plants. You could plant in the heart of the winter. Why? Because they don't deal with frozen ground, frozen soil. The temperature will go down, but not enough. It don't go down enough to freeze the soil. So this gives you the opportunity to grow a lot of food and even start way earlier. If you in zone 8, 9, 10, way earlier than the person in zone 6 and these areas, it's a big difference. So I just want to tell you, if you in zone 8, 9, 10, you could start putting food in the ground. You could start planting. You could do seedlings outdoors in the ground, especially brassica, cabbage, broccoli, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, onion, garlic. These type of plants you could plant in the heart of the winter. They could stand the cold weather. So say for instance, you're in an area where your ground is not freezing. What you could do, you could take it, put it in the ground. It not gonna, the only thing is it will not grow as fast as you might expect. But the thing is they want to stay alive. So you could start gardening pretty early. Hold on for me 1 minute, guys. Hold on. Sorry for that, guys. Okay, let me see. I'm in zone 6 and we freeze pretty hard. Until March, I saw your potato video and I can't believe you already planting and still have brassica. Yeah, the background. Yes, yes, listen to me. I have brassica still in the garden. I have Edo's plant. I have potato plant. I have garlic plant. I have a lot of food in the ground. But the good thing about it is because the ground do not freeze. The ground does not freeze. People in these areas could start putting food in the ground. They don't got to wait till springtime. They could start putting food in the ground now. So once you put food in the ground now, all these food gonna present themselves in the spring. So it make your job easier. Now in the spring, you could work on different plant. Believe it or not, my garden, I already planted down a lot of food already. So people in zone 8, 9, 10, you don't need to wait until springtime to start putting food in the ground. People in zone 6, like Fifi Johnny, in zone 6, she have to be very skeptical in what she put in her soil, because she could end up get a frost for a few days and her soil start freezing, and maybe you could have food under the ground and maybe you could lose them in that form with that frost. If when it freeze up, maybe you could lose them. But in zones 8, 9, you should be start putting food in your ground now. Start packing your ground with food. Potato. You ain't even have to be inside with certain seedlings. You could set seedling direct in the ground. I have seedling growing beautiful in the ground. All I do, I have a white situ plastic container, cover them. That's all I do. So the air is not damaging them. You see what I'm saying? Hey, Urban, how you doing? What's up? We have to wait. Laugh or no, snow is fall and places frozen. Yes, but the garage things okay. Just need strong light to prevent leggy plants. All right, so that's it. That's the thing. You got to do what you got to do. So people who deal with snow and cold weather, they have to. It's either you start indoors. It is either you start indoors. Make it easier for you, because we're gonna happen. You start indoors, so you have the ability to grow your seedling, and then when the spring, you bring them out. But the people in zone 8, 9, 10, you don't have to deal with the battling with seedlings indoors. You see what I'm saying? You plastic containers, situ containers. Even like the milk jug, as you see Nikki does use. The milk jug, that's a good way too. So instead of you got to deal with all this inside and you don't want to do it inside, now you have containers. You know what you could do as well? For instance, you have them big plastic containers that we use as storage, the situ one, the clay one. What you can do, you can actually put soil in it, sow your seed in it, and put the cover over it and leave it outside. The thing that does mess up the seedlings is that cold frost. You see the cold frost that blows? That's what messed up the seedlings. But if you're able to protect the seedling from that frost, you don't have a problem, because them seedlings, I've set them seedling outdoors since in December. And the seedling them is doing wonderful. All I have is a plastic container over them. Once the ground is not freezing, remember, the ground cannot be freezing. Once the ground is not freezing, you could use a plastic container over it and your seedling could strive through that. So this is I'm giving people in this zone. Try it for yourself. If you have a greenhouse, it's even better. So it becoming where if you're in these zones, you ain't got to do too much of planting indoors. Your seedling indoors, you could actually do them outside. Containers with soil and a cover over it. Maybe even in zone 6 you might do it. The thing is the soil, the soil that frees up. That's what you don't want to deal with. But you could try the white container, put a cover on it, and rest it up and rest it off the ground. Because you in zone like 5th in zone 6. Rest it off the ground, cover it. You ain't even got to remove the lid, because the light gonna shine through, like what Fifi say. That's exactly like a greenhouse effect. So the light gonna shine through. So it's gonna be getting the light, but it's not gonna be receiving the coldness. So for me, what I'll do, if I'm in zone like 6 and 6B and D zone, I will try it just to see. Just to see. Just to see. Set some seed and just put them out though, like brassica. Leave them out though, covered with the lid. You ain't even got to open the lid. Or you could open the lid when the weather ain't that bad. But this is ways we can garden in the winter. So now we creating ways that we could garden right through the year. Not just springtime and then in the fall. We want to garden right through the year. So in the winter, that's when we rest. But no, we don't need to rest in the winter. We could get all our brassica ready. We walking in the winter. In the fall, preparing our soil. In the winter, we preparing our seedlings. Get them ready for the spring. When the spring come, we plant and we ready to go. This is serious, man, and it's getting there. Because, guys, I don't know if you all see, but the thing is getting real tough, real hard. And very soon, you might be hearing you can't find certain thing in the supermarket. You might be hearing that something did not deliver. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry for that, guys. Sorry for that. Okay, let me see what the chat saying. So, man, the struggle is real. It is real. That's the greenhouse effect. Yes. True. Maybe I'll try that. It's a good idea. It's really a good idea for my experience, because why I'm saying this is my seedling and them deal with, I think was 29 degrees. It actually went down to freezing mark. So it went down, and when I look, nothing happened to them. So what I'm saying is, if the ground is freezing, if you worried about the ground freezing, put them in the container and just put something under them that the container and rest direct on the ground, so you have a chance of, it ain't gonna freeze even though the weather come down. And just leave them in the light. It give you, believe it or not, it make you feel so good. Know that you ain't got to be dealing with these seedling indoors. It make you feel so good because you have them out there. Just they're doing their own thing. They don't need no care from you. They just, and you don't have to water them, because I never water them. I never water. Well, like if in a container, you might sprinkle, you might give them a little spray down, but you can't overwet them, because if you overwet them and then the freeze come, then that could cause a situation. But I never wet them out there. But the rain sometimes come, but nothing happens. These, if it, you listen to me, you need to see these seedlings, how beautiful they looking and how big they getting, and they're outdoor. So it's a good thing. I think it's a very good idea for people to try. Instead of battling with plants indoors, seedlings, try them in containers, them situ containers, and put them outside. It works. It's beautiful. I'm so excited that I'm looking at all these seedlings and I don't have to do too much. All I do, I go and raise up the container, check to see how they're looking, cover it back, and just leave it. Even though it gets freezing, that plastic cover and protect them. So zone 6, zone 7, I think it's a good idea. You should try it. You should definitely try it. I'll try it in March. Okay. Yeah, like Lashos, in your area, you don't need to be doing no seedlings indoors, for real. Just like, because if I'm, well, like peppers, I'll recommend the container. I'll recommend the container. But brassica, no need to do brassica indoors, especially when you're in your type of weather. And anybody could do it in containers. It works, especially if you're not dealing with cold, freezing soil. So these are ways that can help you in the winter. So that help keep you from having too much plant inside. So like the brassica, them, you don't need to have them inside. Maybe your peppers, you might want to have them inside. Your okra, you might want to have them inside. But guess what? I'm planting all of them outdoor. Every one of them, pepper, okra, all of them outdoor, and cover them with a plastic container just to see. Because I want to see for myself. I can put them in a greenhouse. I know it will do in the greenhouse, but I want to try them in the soil just to see if they're going to survive. Because how will you know if you don't try? Hey, Juice and Jay, what's up, man? How you doing? Yeah. So gardening in the winter, we got to make it more simple and more easier for us. We got to be in control of this, where we're going to do things that works for us. All right, where we're going to create environment out there, like making our own little greenhouse. It ain't got to be a big greenhouse. All it can be a container. Put the container over them, and you could even pull some soil around them. Leave a little gash by the side that the air could go through, because they need air. But at the same time, the air gonna be circulating, but they're not getting this cold frost that come down and beat them. So gardening is the winter. We got to make it more simple. We got to make it work for us now. All right. So this is a good way of dealing with seedling in the winter outdoors. And I'm sure after this year, we might see more of this start happening. Because once it works, more people are going to continue to do it, because it's easier outside than inside. When they're outside, you ain't got to do too much to them. When they're inside, you got to do a lot to them. You got to keep them alive. You got to make sure you water them the right way. And you cannot overwater them, because they're indoors. And if they're indoors, remember, they're not getting that heat. like the sun, that we're gonna be sucking out the moisture. So I think you got to figure out. Some people use their finger, push it down, and once they don't see get nowhere, then they water it. But you cannot over water your seedlings, because and you cannot over water your seed as well. We call it drowned. You know, like you go in the water, you cannot swim, and you stay under the water for too long, and you lose your breath, and we call that drowned, right? The same thing could happen to the seed. You overwet them, you could damage them before they even germinate, and just like that, you lose the seed. So after that day you wet them, you should hold on. Just allow them. Then you go back a couple days, maybe 3 4 days, you start testing the soil. After that, you give them a little sprinkle again, but you cannot over water these plants. Some people have spray bottle. That's a good way as well. The spray bottle and the spray the roots them. So they're just giving them just the amount of water for them to able to drink, to suck up. Not to wet the whole container and have it inside the damp, and that don't do well for the root of the plant. Sometimes you have plants already germinate and growing, but because of you too much water, it starts rotting the root. Then you see the plant start dying. So you don't want that. So no, you have to make sure. And guys, you have to take notes. If you're not taking notes, you got to pay attention. What happened to you last year ain't supposed to happen to you this year in gardening. So that's why you got to pay attention. You're doing what working for you. What you see working for you, that's what you do. If you see that you did not do your seedlings and them, water them at all, or maybe 2 3 times for the whole season, and you see they do well, then that's what you continue doing. You got to see what's working, and that's the method you use, because this is your climate, this is your area, this is what's growing for you. All right, maybe it might do different in a different area, but at the same time, it what works for you. All right, so seedling is delicate. Seeds, delicate. Seedling, delicate. It's just like a woman. When a woman gets pregnant, the first 3 months, according to studies, the first 3 months is very delicate. The first 3 months is when she got to be and make sure she, well, the woman will know more than me. But studies say the first 3 months is very delicate. It's the same with seedling, from the process of germinating, sowing them, germinating, taking care of the seedlings. Taking care of the seedlings is another process. If you don't believe it or not, gardening, growing start from sowing the seed. Growing a garden starting from sowing the seed. Hello, Make It Go Viral. How you doing? Thank you for being here. Yes, sowing seed, gardening start from sowing seed. Gardening start from sowing seed. The whole process is from sowing seed. The better you take care of your seedlings, the better result you get in the long term. The more care you give to your seedlings, the better result you get in the long run. So this is why the process of seeds, sowing seeds, is delicate. This is why the process of taking care of the seedlings is delicate. These are the times, even when you transplant them, is delicate time. These are things you have to know and have to know how to handle these seedlings, or you will lose them. So the process starts from the day you sow that seed. That's when the process of gardening a plant starts. From the day you sow that seed into germination, into seedlings growing up, into transplanting, into taking care of the plant, into start producing. It's a whole process. It's a package. The most delicate time is the seeds, and after it germinate. After the seed germinate, the delicate time still begin. Just like the baby, the delicate time still there. You still have to take care of the seedlings. And if you don't know, even they germinate, if you don't know how to take care of them, they all might just fade away. So we got to pay more attention to our seedlings. Then even though after our seedling process, we still got to transplant them. That's another delicate time. Transplanting is another delicate time where you got to make sure you transplant them and you make sure you take care of them, get them to the growing stage. Once you get them to the growing stage, that's where the job start getting easier and easier. Just like us, when our parents, when we born, they got to take care of us until we able to take care of ourselves. And that's basically the same process with the plant. You have to take care of them. So guys, don't believe you're going to just sow the seed, leave them, or just plant them and leave them. You could do that, but you're not going to get much out of them. My thing is, taking care of them, you get way more result out of them. So winter garden is basically one of the most delicate time in gardening, the most delicate time. Because in the spring, in the summer, when you could go out there and just throw your seeds wherever, you just throw your seed, cover them. Once the seed connect to the soil, once the seed is good and the seed connect to the soil, that's life right there. The seed connect to the soil and then water, soil, seed. That create life right there. So that's life. So in the summer, hey, Urban Harvest, how you doing? So in the summer, it's a whole different ball game. We can just go out and just start seed in the garden. But in the winter, we cannot do that. We got to become like parents to the seeds, the seedlings, until they're able to take care of themselves. We got to feed them until they're able to take care of themselves. Once they're able to take care of themselves, that's when our job become easy. That's when we start sit back and watch them grow. That's when we start to sit back and say, okay, these plants start looking good. This is harvest time. You see what I'm saying? So it's a process, but we could do more in the winter. We can do more in the winter. And we're going to be doing a lot of videos about winter gardening because we can actually do more than we think in the winter, especially zone 8, zone 9, 10. In this zone, you could do way more than you think. In zone 6, in this area, yes, it's a little tight, but now experiment. Like I now mentioned to you, try these big containers, good size containers, add soil, and so you see it's different with most people, because most people sow like a seed in one container. I really don't do that. You know, I draw a line and I sow seed all the way down in the lines. That's how I do it. So, but if you decide to even try it, do in one container, you could also put it in the container, cover it like a plastic container, cover it, bore a hole that some air could circulate, and you could just leave it outside. Just try it. So let this be your project for 2024. Let this be your experiment in this zone that have freezing temperature, that dealing with winter. Try seedlings. I mean, Nikki's supposed to be in cold temperature, and she did it outside in containers. But what I'm saying is you could do it on a bigger scale with bigger containers and just cover the top. Put some holes that air could circulate, and that save you the time you got to put in inside your house. Okay? I'm loving it. I'm loving it because the ceiling is doing well outdoors. I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying it. So we could do a lot more in winter garden, and I'm definitely will be doing a lot more in the winter now because I'm learning more and more. And this is the thing, guys. It doesn't matter how long you're doing gardening. It doesn't matter. You're still going to learn things every day. You still got to have an open mind and willing to learn. You always got to remember, I don't know everything. And if anyone tell you they know everything, you know that's a lie. We learn along the way. We continue learning every day. Once we have an open mind, and it's not just about gardening, it's about life itself. Whatever you're doing, you learn something every day. Once you don't close up your mind. Okay? Yes. Yes, thank you, thank you. So yes, guys, this is 2024 garden season coming in, and I want you guys to remember that we have a herb garden challenge in 2 months. Gonna begin in 2 months, the 1st of March. Don't forget, guys, this is when we're gonna be putting 10 seeds. Everybody gonna be growing 10 seeds. Everybody gonna be growing 10 different herbs this garden season for the herb garden challenge. Yes, let's make this happen. Let's take this opportunity to another level, guys. Like I keep saying, this herb garden challenge could benefit you in many ways. It's creating content for your channel. That's one. You learn about different herbs. You also able to have access to fresh herbs that you grow. You could learn from others who also participating in the herb garden challenge. It's so much you could learn from this challenge. So I'm looking forward. We're going to keep promoting. We're going to keep talking about it. So I'm actually looking forward to see more people this year, and let's make this thing happen, man. Let's make this into something positive, guys, because there's nothing to lose out of this. Ain't anything to lose out of this. You want to gain. All right? So, guys, how you guys doing, man? Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate you guys. Thanks to all them members of this channel. Truly appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to you, Fifi. I see you do over a year membership. You RG Living Life. The most members I have is people who don't have a channel. That's the most members I have. They don't actually have a YouTube channel. So, but I still want to say shout out to each and every one of you. Shout out to Urban Garden Chronicles. Shout out to Lashaw. Shout out to Fifi Johnny. Shout out to Boy Blue. Shout out to Yaya Best Life. Shout out to NASA. Shout out to... You have more, but guys, I just want to thank you guys for being a part of this journey and support this channel. Thank to all the subscribers. Truly appreciate each and every one of you. You know, I'm just gearing up for this new garden season. I'm looking forward to present more videos on different levels. I'm looking forward to produce a higher scale of gardening this garden season. So look out for these videos. Look out for these videos that's coming because it's a higher level. Every year we take it up a notch. All right? So look out for these videos because they will be coming. There's videos I'll be going into the depths of gardening and I will be showing you, not just talking about it. I will be showing you the depths, going into the heart of the way I garden. All right? Let me see. I still have to choose my seed. Don't know what I'm growing for the challenge. All right, all right. Congratulations and blessing on your garden, Charlie. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Make it go viral. Yes, sis. This is our second year. Last year was excited, and this is our second year. And we also have prizes given away to winners also. So it is exciting and appreciate that. Thank you so much. Excited planter. All right. ID Everyday Life. What's going on? Yes. I'm excited myself. You know what? We've been talking about this for how much months now? How much months? And guess what? Now it's 2 months. Could you imagine? 2 months away. 2 months away. I love challenges. Yes, it will be exciting. I can't wait, man. I have to choose my 10 herbs. All right, all right. Way to stay active. Yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. So it's getting closer, and it's the 4th of March. Don't forget, guys, the 4th of March is when we're gonna be uploading our 4th video when we sow our seed. Please make sure you upload on the 4th of March. We got to do it by rules because I don't want it. The better, when you do things in structure, in rules, it's structure more. You know what I'm saying? So let's make sure our 4th video is up on the 1st of March. Yes. Video on the 4th of March. Yes. All right. Let's make it interesting. Let's make it fun for yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you look back, or when you and your grandchildren look back and you say, wow, I was a part of a herb garden challenge. As a gardener, you should be part of it. Because even though you're not a gardener and you want to try, that's still fine. Because we had two new people last year who said they never gardened before. So you see what I'm saying? So let's encourage each other. Let's bring more people and let's garden. So basically, the 4th of March is still winter. So that's still winter garden. So like I was saying, there's certain seedlings you don't have to do indoors. You could do them outdoors. Containers, just like, yeah, look, the everyday life. I was talking about you, the everyday life, about the milk jug that you use outdoors instead of you do it indoors. All these is ways you could do it. You ain't got to do it indoors, you could do it outdoors. And remember, don't forget, remember, if your seedling did not germinate, you still have the opportunity to set more seeds. So don't give up. You have time. If your seedling does not germinate, you still have time to set more seed. But remember, it's got to be the same seed, same plant, the same seed you sow on the 4th of March. is the same seed you got to end up with on the end of the challenge. Okay, it can't be different plans. Whatever you set on that day is the plans we will be looking forward to see on that challenge, the end of the challenge. Okay, repost the rules because I'm calling out people in this time. Listen me, you know what? Let's, you know what? I think is, yeah, I will repost it. But if the truth is, man, the truth is, if we see somebody slapping up, we should able to still, we should able to have a conversation. Okay, you understand? So because we want to go nice, you know what I'm saying? We want to go nice, and we honestly we want people to go to from the start to the finish. We not just one video and then we never see them again. Then the ending we see another video. We want you to, we want this to be serious. Will there be winners? Yes, there will be winners. Yes. So yes, calling out people, yes. Please make sure we follow the rules. Let me see. I know how Home Depot start. Well, listen to me, guys. We're not dealing with any starts. Remember, it got to start from seeds. Remember, we're not dealing with no starts from home, these stores. We're dealing with seeds. You got to set your own seed. You actually creating, you actually building your confidence in germinating seed yourself. So you're doing this for yourself. Okay? Let me see. I'm all rooted for you all. All right, thank you. We appreciate that. I think we should just video no matter how short the video. Let me see. I think we should do just videos no matter how short the video is. It's get confusing watching videos and remembering to go into shorts to view someone upload. You know what? You're right, because last year, you know what? This is true because last year, sometimes I'm looking for videos from people and I can't find no videos. Then I got to go into shorts. That's when I start. So when I think a person didn't upload, then I end up going into a shorts. And that's when I realized, oh my goodness, I thought this person didn't upload. So I think it's important to really make the video. It ain't got to be long. Make the video itself so they're going to be in videos. Because it also making, I believe, a person did not upload when they actually did. All right? Thank you. I'm already a winner. I have tea to drink. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Oh wait, guys, don't make too much caps because this thing, don't make too much caps because the night bot gonna go put your time out. Listen to me, I gotta reset this thing. Night bot behave. All right, let me see if we could pause it. Hold on. I'm gonna put it on timeout. Night bot. Okay. I kind of, all right, I put it on timeout. Okay. Let me go back. Yeah, I put it on timeout. No. Okay, let me see. I'm good with it. Okay, all right. Thanks for all. Yes, I appreciate the likes, guys. Thank you guys so much. I'm good with, yeah, because the, you know what? The last time I was missing people videos, and I'm saying, wait, this person did not upload. But then when I go and check in shots, I realize. So listen me, guys, as much as it might just seems like, oh, you just videos, it could be complicated. When I say complicated, it can be, if everything is in video, it make it easier for me because I can just watch. But when I got to come off of video to go into the video, sometimes it can be complicated. So I realize that sorry guys, I don't know what happened, but the internet cut out. I don't know why. We're getting bad weather, so I think that's what's going on. I think that's what caused the situation. Okay, I already paused the night, but sorry guys, sorry. Oh man, sorry for that. Sorry for that. Okay. Yeah, so like I was saying, guys, the Herb Garden Challenge will be an pretty excited challenge. So let's make it happen. Let's make it work. Let's make it excited. Let's make people want to be a part of it maybe for next year. Maybe there's people who can see it this year and want to be a part of it next year. So let's make this thing excited. Let's make it beautiful. And the grand finale, on the day of the grand finale, that's going to be maybe a 3 hour show. So that's a day you will have to have your cup of coffee, your cup of tea, whatever you drink on that day, because it's going to take 2 hours before I present the winners of that challenge. Okay? So, all right. I'm going to show you a little video that can give you an idea of what I'm talking about with the seedling outdoors. In 1 second. Okay, I just want to show you what I'm talking about. All right. All right. So let me give you I'm going to show you a video basically giving you an idea of what I'm really talking about when I'm talking about growing, bringing seedling outdoors. Let me just show you this video. At least it's going to explain what I'm talking about. All right. All right. So if you notice what you see in here, you see in a big container. You see in a big container, and this container is what protecting these seedlings. So if you're in zone 8, 9, these areas, you could basically do your seedling outdoors in ground. This is just a video just to give an idea.
Welcome to Planter Garden TV. How you guys doing today? All right,
These are
guys, this is my
brassicas.
seedlings, and my seedling doing pretty well. A couple days ago, the weather went down to maybe like 30, 29 degrees. And because of this shelter that I have over these seedlings, the weather doing nothing to them. This things really works, and I'm so excited because now it saved me from got to set cabbage, collard greens, broccoli indoors. I could actually do it outdoors. So this is for people who dealing with weather that the ground don't freeze. If the ground freeze, then it's a whole different ball game. So if you in zone 8, 9, 10, you could definitely grow your seedlings outdoors. And right now we in December. This is December weather we're dealing with, and look how healthy these seedlings are. So what I'm doing today, I'm actually taking care of them. You see what I'm doing? I'm adding soil around them. So while they're growing, I keep covering their roots. So what they're gonna be doing, they're gonna be creating more roots, so they're gonna get stronger. So by the time January reach, these seedlings gonna definitely be ready to get outside to be transplanted. So right now they're doing pretty well. I'm just walking and fixing them. Make sure that they're root, and if you see them, they're not looking leggy. They're not leggy seedlings. They're doing pretty good because they get in the sunlight from through this container. This container keep off the cold weather, but at the end of the day, it's important that the ground does not freeze. So because the ground is not freezing, these seedlings able to stand the cold because of the shelter of the plastic. So this is a good way, guys. You can definitely be putting your seedlings outdoors if you're in zone 8, 9, 10 and these places, instead of struggling indoors to plant, to set them indoors and dealing with grow lights and all these kind of stuff. These seedlings also can take cold weather. So we have broccoli, we have cabbage, we have cauliflower. Yes, that's what we have right here growing, and they're doing pretty fine. So, guys, thank you guys for watching. Don't
Okay. So you guys see what I'm talking about. Right. So this is basically what I'm actually talking about. And I think many people can try it, even though you're in colder weather. You know, but the people in zone 8, zone 9, you could actually set them in ground. You ain't really got to go in the container. You could set them right in ground. And like you, as you see, I had the container and I just put the container over. Even though we went down to 29 degrees, which is freezing mark, it didn't do anything to them. And if you see them now, that was in December. We in January now, so you know they're even bigger. I'm actually getting ready to transplant them in a few days. So I just want to say, for the people in zone 8, 9, go back, go up, you can start planting brassica outdoors in the heart of the winter, January, because that's what I'm doing. So by the time, okay, I'll probably do 2 container in March. All right, that's wonderful. At least you try and see. I mean, it's way easier too. That's it. It saves you from got to be inside trying to wet them, trying to do this. It works better outside to me. Less problem, less. You ain't got to worry about anything. They will survive out there in that container. So once you're in these areas, you can start planting in January, February, March. You're supposed to. You see, and this is the thing. You're supposed to able to collect harvest, big harvest, March, April, within these times. You're supposed to be harvesting spinach, broccoli, all these things within March. So this is the thing. You could have a winter crop. A winter crop where you plant cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, all them type of that can deal with the weather. You could have a crop. After you harvest this crop, now you're coming in with a different crop, which might be pepper, tomato, okra. You got to utilize the year, especially you in these areas where your ground is not freezing. You're supposed to utilize the time. So winter crop is important. This is why I already have my seedling set since in January, in December. I set my winter crop seedlings in December. So now I'm going to be planting up the place, which I wasn't planning on do it, but with brassica, but I already set them. So I'm going to be planting up a lot of brassica. Then in the spring, after harvesting, then I'm coming with my pepper. Then I'm coming with my okra. Then I might plant a few tomatoes. I ain't got to plant no tomato. They just bust back up in the ground. So then you just come in. So now you know you have all spring you eating. You actually eating from your garden. Then in the summer, you still eating from your garden because now in the summer, okra start producing, tomatoes start producing. You see what I'm saying? Then in the fall, you still eating. You got to set up your garden that it could feed you right through the year. So your first crop in the winter should be brassica, especially if you in these areas. You should be growing food like Lashos. See, Lashos could grow food all through the year. Yes, she end up with some cold weather from time to time. The frost might hit her. Yes, that happened. But the ground not freeze. So you actually can be growing food during that time. Use these times, guys. Time is getting hard, guys. Guys, time is getting hard. Like I said, not because you don't see it by your doorstep, meaning it not happening. Someone, I know, had a conversation with someone was mentioning to me that people sleeping in the car, people, yo, is a lot of stuff going on. If you could create ways how to save a few dollars and also eating healthy at the same time, you know how much benefit you getting from that. You saving ton, you save food expensive. If you got to go to the supermarket on an everyday basis, you got to have money. And this is for real, man. I'm going to drop some outside. Yes, you should. You have the weather for that. And like you could use a container like what you see out in the and cover them in case the frost pass through. But you should be setting seed now, Lashos. If anyone say tomato one more time, I'm not planting any this year because I know I will have lots of variety. You're right. So there's no need. Exactly. There's no need. And this is how you got to set up your garden, guys. You got to always bury stuff. Bury squash. Sometimes you got to bury squash, whole squash, bury whole tomato, even cucumber. Bury them in the soil. You'll be surprised how much. You know what? Let me tell you what I see happen this year. This year, I had cucumber, and one of them I didn't harvest it. I just leave it on the vines, and it stay right there, and then it mess up, and then it end up in the soil. And in the fall, there was cucumber, small cucumber growing, but the weather hit them. So what I'm saying is, in the fall, bury some of these things. They're going to just grow up in your garden. Like I have mustard greens. I have mustard greens growing all over my garden. Why? Because I allow the seeds to spread. No, they just, you see? So to set up your garden like that, make it easier for you. It gives you a head start. So believe it or not, many of these seeds could really stand the cold weather. Many of them. Many of them could stand cold weather. Sometimes we believe they can't but they can. Because these seedlings, I never bury them. They just blow from the wind, end up in the garden. But guess what? They germinate, and right now they're growing. Our mustard green growing, big head of mustard greens growing in the garden. So you got to observe and do your garden for make life easier for you. Do your garden that you can get the most out of it. Do your garden that it could feed you from the spring into the fall, right from your garden. And believe it or not, I give her a lot of food. I do give her a lot of food. So you could do these things in small areas too. It ain't got to be big areas. In small areas, you can do this as well. Because I grow, but I give her a lot. You just got to know how to walk the, how to, you just got to know. You just got to know how to do things and how to bury a squash down inside there. Bury tomatoes, bury and just leave them and watch them germinate in the spring. Beautiful. You ain't got to plant everything. You could just bury stuff and they just germinate in the spring for you. Yep. Let me see. Yes, Lassos, God, it is strong. Yes, I was seeing it this morning. I saw it this morning on her live. She harvest some greens. Yes, Lassos have that weather. Should always be strong. Yeah. Okay. Hey, so bless, how you doing? Thank you for being here. I have volunteer pumpkin last year. I was shocked, so I planted seed the following fall, thinking it will sprout, but it did that. All right. Well, I guess sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. But just keep doing it. Getting some lunchtime knowledge. All right. Yes, yes, yes. This is garden season, and I decided to do a lot of popping up as well because this is garden season and we're getting ready for garden season. I'm gonna have some videos coming up pretty soon. This year, I wanna do some series in some of my live as well. I want we to like we come together, just like how we do in the Herb Garden Challenge. I want we in the spring. I want to, who interested, the people who interested. I want to teach you guys how to grow bell pepper. How I grow bell pepper to get the result I'm getting. I want to teach you guys. So I'm going to be doing videos with how to grow plant bell pepper for great success. I'm also going to do how to take care of them for great success. So it's going to be a lot of information passing down this year. Last year, I didn't do too much, but this year, I'm taking it up a notch with information. So in my life, from now, go right back down to the fall, it's going to be more about gardening. God, this is garden season, and this is what we got to talk about. God, this is a garden challenge, really. So this is what we're going to talk about. Lots of information. So I'm glad everyone come out today. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. So now, I'm hoping that you guys already plan your garden project for next year. I'm hoping you already planned that out. I'm hoping you already planned the layout. I'm hoping that you already know where you're going to be planting certain plants. I'm hoping you already go out in the morning and see where the sun start hovering over your garden. The first place it start hovering. I'm hope you observing for this year 2024. Right? I'm hoping that right for 2000, yeah. I'm hoping that you observe where the sun shine the most. I'm hoping where you already looking at your shaded area if you have any. I'm hoping you're paying attention to all these things because these things is valuable. These things, you should know these things. Why you should know these things? Because there's a lot of plants that do not. There's a lot of plants that do not love hot sun. And there's a lot of plants that love hot sun. So you need to know where the sun shines the most and which plant love the most hot sun. What I'm telling you here, guys, the reason why I'm telling you guys these things is because this information is what gonna make you have more great result. Because you got to remember, if you plant a pepper plant or an okra plant in a shaded area, you cannot get too much from them, believe it or not. You're not gonna get too much from them. And you could try it for yourself. And this is what I want you guys to do. Try it for yourself and see if it works for you. But from my experience, the more hot sun a pepper plant get, the better it strive. The more hot sun a okra plant get, the better it strive. To me now, the more hot sun a cabbage get, it slow down. Cabbage prefer a colder weather, even broccoli. Notice this. Your broccoli, your cauliflower. Notice these plants. If you have them growing in the winter, they does beautiful. They stand up strong. They looking healthy. They looking beautiful. But guess what? As soon as the spring done and you start to enter into that heat, do you see what start happening? The broccoli start changing. Okay, yes, thank you. Yes, the broccoli start changing, the cauliflower, the broccoli, even the collard greens, even the kale. Once the sun start hitting them, they slow down. Then the broccoli start producing like how it was. It start producing some little stranus thing. That's when you get rid of them. Kale, you could leave the kale, but the kale gonna slow down. Just observe the way our kale and spinach operate in the spring, in the winter, into the spring, and observe them in the summer, and you're gonna see the difference. In the summer, they slow down. In the spring, the more you harvest, the more they produce. The more you harvest, the more they produce. But as soon as the summer hit, they slow right down. Even collard greens do that as well. Yes, they struggle. So that tells you that if you plant in collard greens, if you plant in broccoli, if you plant in cauliflower, if you plant in kale, you have to plant them early so you're able to get more harvest from them. So the winter is the best time to plant them. January, February. The only thing might happen, they might slow down their growth, but they're gonna grow. They will survive the coldness. Then by the time the spring hit, the weather start changing up. They start shooting up and they start producing. So you stand a chance of harvesting maybe twice from your broccoli, maybe 3 times from your broccoli. But if you plant them late, you might only stand a chance of getting them one harvest. You see what I'm saying? In the milder zones. Well, like in the mild zones. So what do you mean? They do better in the heat in the colder zone? I'm trying to understand what you see. Because for what I know, they strive better in the colder weather. In the heat, they don't do well in the heat. Could you, Fifi, what are you saying? You say in the milder zone. What you mean? I'm talking about planting in. Oh, right. Okay. Once you're not dealing with frozen ground, once you're not dealing with the ground froze upon you, then thank you for mentioning that. Yes. You have to be in an area where your ground does not freeze. Where your ground does not freeze. All right? Basically, in zone 8, 9, these areas, your ground don't freeze. You could start in January because that's when I start most of the time. That's when I start planting cabbage, cauliflower. Because why? You're able to get more out of your crop if you plant that early. But if you plant late and then the sun come and hit them, then you ain't get. So in zone, I say 8, I'm not sure about 7, but 8, 9, 10 is best you start early, January, February. So you get more harvest before the sun hit. So yes, in the colder areas where your ground froze up, that's different. That's different. Yes, in the colder area where your ground froze, you have to wait until the ground start thawing out. But if you're living in areas where the zone, where the coldness does not freeze the soil, you could grow food. You could be growing brassica right through the winter. And kale, look spinach. My spinach them does be so beautiful and healthy. But as soon as the sun starts shining, you see they start bolting, you see they start fading out. Because that's so this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is why in your garden, you're supposed to know your soil. You're supposed to know if you're in an area where your soil froze. You're supposed to know where in the area where the sun shines the most. You're supposed to know all these things, whether you're doing a container garden or not. All you do, you position the plants them in areas, hot sun, peppers, okra, love hot sun. Okay? Kale, cauliflower, love cooler area. So you have enough to adjust. So even though in your garden, you could have zones in your garden, quite different temperature, because the sun penetrate this one way more than it penetrate over here. So this thing is really important, guys. Pay attention to your soil, your garden, because at the end of the day, you're looking for more. You want more out of your garden. You want more out of your soil. You want the best fruit and vegetables you could ever get or taste out of your garden. All right? If you're doing it, try to do it the best way you can. Because at the end of the day, it's your food. All right? You do real good just for such a short time. And Fifi says, yes, Fifi doing great. I mean, Fifi doing a lot. She doing a lot. Listen me. That's a lot you're doing, for real. It ain't just gardening. Chicken, turkey. That's a lot, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yes, that's because I have indoors for at least 3 months. All right. Yes, guys. So garden season is here. Please do not wait till spring to get yourself prepared. Start preparing, start getting up in mornings, start looking at where the sun shine first. Start looking at where the shine sun the longest. Pay attention to these. This is how you get production. This is how you get harvest in abundance. This is where you get plants that enjoy and just producing because they're getting what they need. They're getting the sunlight. And also you're feeding them with the right nutrients they need, the minerals. This is when they produce on their highest peak. If you slow their growth, then that's a problem. Slowing their growth, that's a problem. That's when you get less. Do you ever, let me ask any one of you this. Do you ever see a pepper tree with 30 peppers on one plant? Do you ever see a bell pepper tree with 30 bell pepper on one plant? Within months, within from March, April to August, September. With it, so what I'm saying to you here is, if you able to get these plants to their full potential within that growing season into production season, that's when you get harvest. That's when you get big trees. That's when they produce for you in abundance. Because you get them to their full peak, their full potential of producing. So they will not stop producing until that frost. When that frost come in the fall and hit them hard, that's when they're going to stop producing. So what I'm saying is, it's important to know every plant you're growing. It's important to know the climate they prefer. Like for instance, if you're in an area and maybe there's farmers in your area, maybe you could ask them question. Ask them which plants thrive best in that zone. Maybe they could give you some tips. What I'm also trying to do too, what I also want to do, I want to talk about different zones. Not today, but I want to talk a different zone gardening. Okay, and then you are always welcome to come and share, because there are always people, there might be somebody in your zone who want to hear about that zone. Because we all grow in different zone, different area, different climate, different temperature. Some of us grow in containers, some of us grow in ground. So if we're trying to, teach people or educate people about these things, it's good for people to share these information. Like me, I could speak for zone that don't freeze, their soil don't freeze. There's other people, which I did grow food in soil that freeze before. And that time it was actually freezing. In them time, the soil was actually freezing. When you dig, it's like ice. So in them time, the soil was freezing. So now you had us to delay your planting. But when you're in zone where the soil don't freeze, it's a big difference. You get more advantage. But if you're in zone where the soil freeze, you got to figure out how am I gonna do this that I can get serious harvest within that short time. And that is start seedlings a little early, that when the time comes for planting, and like I was mentioning earlier, your seedlings is very delicate. Setting your seed is delicate. Your seedling is delicate. Even chance, guys, listen to me. Even chance planting is very delicate. Because let me tell you, I just transplant plants very young, baby, very young. Sometimes they can't even stand up like this. And I will transplant them. But the thing with this, you got to know how to take care of these plants. You see what you see? Because if you can't take care of them the right way, you're going to lose them. So I just transplant because I have an understanding how to transplant and how to take care. One of the most crucial time, listen to me, yes, it might, listen to me, and I'm talking about production and fast production. And this ain't using chemical and all kind of stuff what people just be talking about. This is real thing here. Let me see if I'm getting you the rawness here. All right? Hold on. I think transplant is more dedicated than setting seed. I just being it. No, it's for real. Transplanting is very, because watch, I'm gonna tell you something. No, you have a short growing season. Your growing season is pretty short. Your growing season start planting April, some people May, some, you understand, very short. If you damage the root of this plant that you transplanted, you know what you did? You put that plant in a resting mode, right? When I say a resting mode, what I mean, you put the plant in a place where it got to start especially that main root. You see that main root? You don't want to damage that main root. When you damage that root, what you do there, you put it in a resting zone. Now it got to develop back the strength, develop back that root, the strength of that root. This is the root that feeding it, the main root, that it pulling in all the nutrients from, and you damage that. So now I got to regenerate that root. So now it regenerating that root. If you didn't damage it, it would have started growing already. You see what I'm saying? The time it take for regenerate this root, it would have start growing. So with the kind of growing season you have, you don't have no time to damage the main root of the plant. You don't have no time because you holding back this plant. You got to transplant this plant in a way that as soon as you transplant it, it's ready to go. You cannot hold it back. Your growing season is too short. You see what I'm saying? So it's very delicate. Take your time and take these plants out. Take your time. Take them out and transplant them nicely. If you ain't damage the root, they stand a chance of just continue growing. When you damage the root, it's a hold back for this plant. You allowing this plant to stand still and start regenerating to develop back this main root. So it's very crucial time on transplanting. And we're gonna be doing some videos about that as well. This year, I'm actually taking it up a notch this garden season. I'm gonna be showing more in more depths of gardening this season. And you all know I always show my results. I show how I plan, I always show my results. So it's gonna be a lot of this garden season. I want to see some people this year. I want to see somebody this year with pepper tree, because I already know I'm going to grow 8 feet pepper tree this year again. But I want to see more people. So I'm going to be teaching this year the process of how to grow peppers, how to transplant them, how to take care of them. Because I want to see somebody else with a standing on a ladder picking peppers. I would love to see that. So stay tuned for these type of videos this year. All right? Yes, that's it. That's it. That ain't pepper plant. These are pepper trees that you naturally got to go up on a ladder to reach the top of the pepper tree. I mean, I never seen it before. I never said there's not any. I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm the only person to grow a pepper tree 8 feet tall. But I'm gonna tell you, I want to see more people growing pepper tree, standing on a ladder and showing me, plant them on a ladder, picking pepper. I want to see more of that. So let's work on that this year. No, sir, a picker will be safe. I'm scared. Well, you want them to jump. So I guess you might got to go up on that ladder. 8 feet is kind of high enough. So if they drop, they're just going to bust open. So you might just got to set the ladder good and take your time and, you know. Thanks for the information, Plant. I have a great day. All right, no problem. You thank you, and you have a blessed day as well. All right. Yes, yes, yes. Man, listen me, guys. Garden season is here. Let's make it work, guys. Let's make it work. And you know me, guys. You know me. I'm not, is one thing you could say. Is one thing you can say. Planter ain't selfish on information, because he will tell you, he will show you, and he will show you the result. Because I don't want to be my God and producing and able to have the big. No, I want to see everybody garden producing and looking healthy. That's what I want, not just me. So this is why I share these information freely and willingly, because I know it works. I know it works. If you see big colors leaf in summer run, they have been fertilized to fix back spores, grow tough. Oh, wow. All right. Listen to me, I don't know. To fix marks to force growth. This is the thing, guys. This is the thing. This is the thing, guy. And I've been saying this for years, man. There's things you can use naturally that can growth, that can speed up growth. You see what I'm saying? Oh man. And don't carry share the information. Because I do share the information. What happened here? Yes, sorry. I do share the information, but the only thing it take a lot of work. And many people might not want to put in the work, but I rather put in the work and know I'm eating healthy. I know what I'm eating here because I'm the one growing. But there's natural thing you could use and speed the growth of plant. Believe it or not, you can. I rather do result for the work I put in. I want to eat food I go not show it off. That's it. You see that, and you see, it's so sad. It's so sad, right? It's so sad that there's people who growing these things naturally, showing you the result, right? Showing you result that these product can produce. Because as much as they do, I never see a 8-foot pepper tree come food from these product. I see it come food from natural product. You see what I'm saying? Not from these. But able to show all these things, you growing peppers, big as whatever they're selling, it shows you that you could be doing an organic garden and still able to produce big, massive plants, big, massive fruits, vegetables with a healthy soil. And at the same time, your soil is beautiful. Many things we add to boost the growth of plant mess with your soil. I rather put in the work naturally, manually, and able to my plants to produce in abundant, beautiful, healthy looking plant than to use these things and then a year and a half after your soil become like sand. Then you got to figure out how to get back this soil. No, do it right, build it right, take your time, do it right, maintain it, and you wouldn't have a problem. You will be creating magic in your soil. But when you add certain thing, what it do, it take away from your soil, not adding. And then guess what? Your plant also suck in this thing. Then get what? You end up eating this thing. So don't believe it end by the root of the plant. Or it end by how you spread a plant. No. It ends by you eating that same thing you feed it with. Because it's inside of it. Whether it's collard greens, the leaf, it's inside of it. Because when the plant's root suck from the earth, everything runs straight up. All the nutrients run up in the plant. It also in their leaf. It also in the body of the plant. So whatever it suck, it pulls in the plant. So I rather to do it manual and know that when I'm eating a cabbage from my garden, when I'm eating pepper from my garden, pumpkin, whatever I'm eating from my garden, I already know it have nutrients inside of it. You see what I'm saying? Because I know what I'm putting in the soil. This is why So, you know, sometimes, let me tell you, sometimes people claim they're eating lettuce and tomato healthy. Well, I'm gonna say this. The only how I see that is if you growing them and you know what you're putting around them. Because you don't know. You see, you got to understand when you feed a plant with something, that's what the plant giving back to you. So if you spray it with something, or you spray it for get rid of the insect, the root is sucking that into the plant. So when you say healthy, you eating healthy. It got to be you growing it. And you know you didn't spray nothing around it. And you know what you put around it. Gonna give it nutrients, gonna give it the mineral, they're gonna give it. You see what I'm saying? These things. So exactly, all right. So these things, we got to pay more attention to these things. What we put. I'm not gonna call no name on this product because I don't even want to know their name. But people promote them so much, and the problem is they're not showing you no results. They want to look at you as a person who growing your garden, and your garden is producing so much. But they want to introduce you to some product that they don't know about and you don't know about. Why? Because you see it on TV or they hear somebody talk about it. And all of you got to be careful too. Now. You got to be careful too. Because as a gardener, as an organic gardener, let me put it this way. As an organic gardener, you got to be careful. How you got to be careful? To what you listen to. You see? Many times I try to shut out a lot of things. Because if you don't, what's going to happen? You're going to be falling for a lot of things. You see what I'm saying? Because there's so much product out there. There's so much product out there that you will catch yourself have 10 different products to use in your garden if you ain't careful. And there's people like me and others who showing you could do it without that. We showing proof that you could do it without that. So you got to be careful because you will catch yourself just every time you hear about a new product, you're ready to go and buy it. So you got to be careful, especially if you want to go organic food. If you don't want to go organic food, well, that's different. But if you're trying to go organic food, you got to be careful of the information you listen to. Many people telling you about product that they themselves, they can't show you any proof of what this product did. Show you something that this product, or show you something that this product did and make the garden look beautiful. They can't show you none of that. But they're talking about it. So it's all I can say, guys. All I can say. I'm not here to tell you grow your food organic. I'm not here to tell you got to choose that. That's your decision. Okay? All I'm saying is you got to watch where you getting your information from. That's all I'm saying. You got to watch where you getting your information from. I want to see the entire journey and the result. But that's the only way. The only way is the journey, and then give me the result. Show me them while they're growing and all. Then, but most, it's just sad. It's just sad. It's really sad. I need to see result. That's all. That's all I'm seeing as well. Result. And for the result I'm seeing from doing organic garden, I don't think anyone could convince me into using anything out there. Now, not the result I'm seeing from organic people who grow in organic, myself and others, not their result. I will not allow nobody, and you must don't allow that either, man. Because sometimes, one second, guys. Sorry for that, guys. I I agree. Okay. I want to see, if you say I want to see the entire journey and the result. I agree with that. Facts. I agree with that. It's not even worth a try for. Same here. I'm not even interested. Oh, thank you, thank you. Is what, listen me. You listen me, guys. Just remember, learn to make your own manure, your own compost, whatever. Because the way I see it, man, time is coming when you might never get access to these things to say, all right, let me go buy it from the store. So you might have to learn to do these things yourself. So I think it's the right time to actually start. You have access to leaf. Use them. Use them, utilize them, make it happen, man. Make it happen. That's all we got to do it, man. So this is garden season 2024. It's here. Guys, let's make this an interesting journey. Let's encourage each other to grow. Let's encourage each other to grow even more if they have the space. Listen, me, you could always reach out and ask questions, guys. Is one thing we open to answer question when come on gardening, because we want to see everybody strive. We want to see everybody growing something. We want to see everybody garden beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I got to shout out to Fifi. Fifi Garden did well this year. Well, this is my first year. No, last year. Last year is when I met. Is last year? Man, time flies so fast. Is last year or year before? It's the first time I met her, and she did well. Lascious, you doing your thing as well. You doing well. You growing in sun. You understand? And what you all doing is motivating people. And that's the road I'm on. Motivating people, not you want to see everybody doing well. That's the thing. You want to see everybody doing well. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. All right. 1 second, guys. Garden season is here, man. My goodness. Yep. I start my channel in 2021, but been gardening this. All right, all right. Yes, and 2021 is right. That's when I think I met Fifi Johnny. And the thing is motivation, being positive. And that's what I like. Being positive, and whatever you do, someone could learn from it in a positive way. Let's just say, I love gardening, my peaceful space. Yes, me too. Yes, me, that's my spot, man. In the garden. Love it. Because it's so much to gain. Knowledge, eating healthy, food, man, it's a beautiful place. Beautiful place to be. But yes, this is 2024. Let's make this garden. Listen, me guys. If you didn't plan to garden this year, go out and grab a few containers. Go and grab a few containers. Get the garden spirit alive, man. How could you not? How could you not? If, say, for instance, you start growing, you start already. Why would you give it up? You know what I'm saying? Why would you give up this garden? This is how you know what you're eating. This is how you could walk outside and get some fresh tea. This is how you could grab a bowl, walk out in the garden, pick whatever you feel like or what you feel like cooking today. Come on, let's make this garden season a joy, something to remember. Let it make it bigger than it ever was before. Even the Herb Garden Challenge. Let's make it, guys, let's make this Herb Garden Challenge something to remember, something you are a part of. It's tons of benefit. And I'm just hoping, last year, much people didn't come up, and I give people the opportunity to come up and talk about their journey. And much people did not participate. I'll prefer, you know what I'm saying? We could make it as a journey where we relate at the same time, where we have conversation at the same time, where we could talk about, well, yes, I was doing my herbs, man, and they give, you could talk about the struggle. I think that will be really interesting. Like I can do an open panel from time to time, weeks upon weeks, where we could have this conversation. What have you learned from that challenge? What kind of challenge had you meet during the challenge? These are things, man. Let's make this thing interesting. Let's make it that next year. More people. And even though it's not just the people on YouTube, we could inspire people in communities that mightn't be on YouTube, but watching it, inspire them. The more of your neighbors grow food, is better for you. You understand? The more people grow food, is better for us. Because there's the less people will be watching your food because they have their own food. So let's do this thing, man. Let's make this thing happen. Let's make this garden season something to remember. Let's make it work. Let's make it happen, guys. 10 herbs this year. Last year was 5. This year is 10. All right? So yes, guys, I just want to thank everyone for coming out today and spend this time with me. I hope you guys enjoy it. I did enjoy the company. I did enjoy all the information in the chat. I appreciate that. Guys, don't forget, we also go live. This garden season is going to be a lot of popping up from me. But I go live on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But this season is going to be a lot of popping up. And also, don't forget to check from time to time and check out some of my videos, because most of the time, the video I upload is what I will be talking about. All right? So thank you, Lashos. Thank you, Fifi Johnny. Thank you, So Bless. Thank you, The Everyday Life. Thank you, everybody who come in this live today, man. I hope you guys enjoy it, and we're going to keep on doing this. Thank you so much, Planter, for sure. You're welcome, Fifi Johnny. I appreciate it. Yes, so we're going to continue this, man. I can't say when I'm going to pop up, but I will be doing popping up, because I want to see everyone with a successful, productive garden. I want to see everyone feeling proud of themselves, of how much the garden produce. And this is why we want to have, I want to do live with people from different zones, that we can share information from each zone, that the listeners, people in the audience, could actually gather information from each person in their own zone. And right there, the information is spreading. We're learning from each other. All right? So thank you guys for coming out. I truly appreciate you guys. Don't forget, guys, to like this video. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You won't regret it. Once you're into garden, you would not regret it. All right? Thank you, guys. Peace, love, blessing to each and every one of you. You guys have a blessed and wonderful week. All right.